Peter Dutton is pledging to cut $6 billion from Australia's public service spending. He wants to cut the public service from around 209,000 to 200,000. Still pretty big, if you ask me, but this will represent a saving of billions. Is there an appetite for this, though, Patrick? We have Australians always saying they want a government that's fiscally responsible, but that's not how they always vote.
No, that's true. Look, ordinarily you would think a shrinking public service, no one in the electorate is not going to lament that or punish a government doing that. But we are in an economic crisis that's been going for years and years now. And the idea of job cuts that are savage will not appeal at all to a lot of people who will feel like they're under the microscope, but they're going to lose their jobs. It's a tricky time. And look, I think the bigger issue here is the fact that both Labor and the Coalition have said, well, we're going to put $9 billion towards Medicare. Labor hasn't even bothered yet to explain how they're going to pay for it. At least Peter Dutton has said, well, this is what I'm looking to do. But you would suspect that he's probably not going to go as savagely as he may have made out before now.
You're right, but I've got to say I was disheartened by the Liberals just matching that Labor spending and in fact outdoing it, saying we're going to spend $9 billion, not $8.5 billion.
Yes.
When we've got this massive debt, if you're going to be saving from cutting a few thousand public servants and bureaucrats, then I don't know, maybe use that money to pay back down some debt. Let's check in now with Housing Minister Claire O'Neil. She's another one who just loves her social media output. This is her latest on Instagram.
If only there was an example where super for housing had been tried somewhere overseas, and I wonder what would have happened to house prices and home ownership.
Bunch of articles from The Guardian and New Daily. I'm convinced. I don't know about you, Patrick. Again, I scrutinise this social media output because we're seeing so much of it from government ministers. Is it effective, and does it convince particularly young voters?
Look, when I watch that, I feel like a kindergarten child, really, being lectured by a kindergarten teacher about how the world works. Look, social media is not something I'm strong on myself, but I understand some things are very funny and some things just tank. And Jacinta Allen, by the way, is not very good with the social media. It's massively important.
She's particularly bad. Dan wasn't too bad, and Dan had a massive social media team. He got bang for our bucks because that was costing us money, but Jacinta Allen's output, not much better than Claire O'Neil. Let's look at the Victorian Greens. They're also on the socials, and they're boasting, they're so proud of boycotting the Lord's Prayer. Here's Greens MP Ellen Sandel. Yeah, I can't imagine why they lost the seat of Paran. Really, that's like, if you don't want to be there, fine, but to post yourself looking smug and proud and then, like, why? How is that something to be celebrating?
I think she's claiming to be offended for all the people who have not said that they're offended. Who has actually come out? Who are these people, as Maggie Thatcher once said? No one's talking about the Lord's Prayer being offensive.
No.
It's part of our cultural history. And look, sure, you can look at these things. It's not offending anyone.
No.
At all. And to take the high moral ground, the premise is just false.
It absolutely is. And of all the things to be agitated about or highlighting in this state, that would be, I don't think, even in the top 1,000 things that's happening in Victoria right now. Patrick, Carlyon, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thanks, Rita.